Good morning, everyone. I am a little sneezy today. We've got nice hot weather out here, and of course, every time the weather changes, I either get a cold or I'm dealing with allergies. I don't know which one, but either way, I'm a little sneezy and coffee and so much fun. But anyways, we have been working on canes, obviously, all week long. I will show you my little box of canes that I made. And I actually also ordered a few things online. One was from Clay. I don't know if I burnt my finger, but I've got this nice little cut right there that's driving me crazy. So I gotta make sure I don't use that hand. And obviously I don't want to stick a band-aid on it because then I'll end up getting band-aid marks all over my clay. So this is just a piece of translucent clay that was left over in something I made. But I'm looking here to my left, and I've got some purple. I've got like a, I don't know, that was supposed to be a red. I got a pink that turned blue. How does that happen? And I've got another purple, and this is just translucent clay that has been colored. So I'm going to set those to the side. Maybe we can use those. Alright, so the one thing when you make your focal pieces is you don't want to make them the size that you want them because you're going to be layering them. So I'm basically just trying to make one strip. It's pretty much even. And then cut them. So I'm going to try 4 little marks right there, just to see how big it is. Okay, that might be a little small. One, 2, 3, 4. So this is like 1.25 inches. Let's see if this one's better. Okay, let's try 1.25 inches. When I go to make it a focal, so that's not a bad size to start with. Okay, so these are all the canes that I've made this week. This isn't all of them, but all the different just little designs. So we got some swirls in different colors. We have some red with some black. We have some greens. Obviously, we got a lot of leaves. I've got some in green, some purple. And basically, I'm going to use these two for this one. The thing on making focal pieces is just knowing how to layer, where to put everything, right? That's where I struggle. As you already know, I think I probably told you that about 1,000,000 times. So this one we're not going to layer with any color. Oh, you know what? Well, I guess I could use these. This isn't the one I wanted to use. These are so cute. And I don't know, I think I made a video on this. You just haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to put one on that side, one on that side. But that's not the one that I wanted to work with. And I literally cannot believe I don't have it in here. Probably because it's out here somewhere. It is. Alright, so this was a flower that went bad. And you guys will see the video on this one before today, I think. I made this already. Okay, and this was, like I said, a flower that I didn't like. And so I changed it up, and it turned out really good. So this is that flower that you probably saw in the last video. And this was just combining them, making a really pretty background cane. Let's see. That was on the opposite. So we're going to put that on the opposite over here. So I would like to make my beads round so that I've got all the clay in them. But to get it back to that lentil shape, you have to do a little bit of swirling, but not enough to where you swirl a design. And I have not figured out how to master that yet. Okay. So basically I'm doing this very lightly. Just enough until the clay is blending into my piece. Okay, and then I got these great little flowers that I'm going to stretch out a little bit. And these might look better if I had some kind of a background color on these. I don't yet. Okay. But basically, that's all you do, is just kind of layer a bunch of little pieces together. And come up with some cool designs. Alright, well, since that didn't want to come all the way off, we're just going to cut a piece of that plastic off of it. Kind of get rid of some of these weird lines that I've got in here. Okay, so I want to do another little flower. I have to make more of these, which I will probably do later on today. Okay, and I just kind of place them wherever. You can go really busy if you want, or just a few elements. I want to make one that's really, really busy. Okay, so basically, that's our little focal. Somebody had watched one of my flower videos and asked, well, then what do you do with them after you make them? And the honest truth is, I don't know. I really don't know. I think I store most of them because I don't know what to do with them. Okay, so I really like that for the top. So right now I'm just going to slowly, just to get it into shape. I'm not really trying to swirl it. I just want to get it into that lentil shape. Okay, so you just go really lightly. Okay, and then I'll push it down. All right. Okay. And then basically that's your little shape. So I'm not going to do too much on this one. I am going to swirl it just a little bit more because I want to go a little thinner. But I mean, I'm barely touching it. Okay, there we go. I like that better. Okay, and again, you're not going to know what this is going to look like till it comes out of the oven. So I'm going to set that right there, and let's do some with some color. So this is kind of like a purple, and of course, I don't have anything that this is going to match with. Okay, so this is another one. This is that one that we did that was, I think it was 1 inch. And we're just going to layer it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a couple blue dots right here. And this is going to be kind of like our base. Or at least that's what I'm trying to do. Throw some color in here. Okay, so not much, just a little different. Okay, and then cut this. This is some just translucent and white. I'm going to go really thin here. What I'm trying to do is twist it so it's kind of like a ribbon. Okay. And yeah, it's going to cover that blue. Okay. Do one more. Just going to come off of here. And kind of twist it around there. Okay, so now you'll see that blue come through. So how about we do a brown leaf? I like wrapping my stuff in saran wrap instead of wax paper, but it gets really mushy later, so it's good to go wax paper. But if you really plan on using them within a couple of days, I just do the saran wrap. It's easier to get it out. Okay, so I don't know how big I want this leaf. See, and again, this is where I struggle. Is how do I want this on? Oh. about to sneeze, so excuse me if I do. It's there. It's there. We've got these trees in the yard that are just like blowing all kinds of stuff off of them. Even my husband came home last night and he had taken allergy medication. He takes it every morning before work, and it was not even helping him. He said his allergies were just horrible. Alright, so now we got the leaves. We got a little bit of the blue, and now we just basically fill it up. So, we're going to do some swirls here. And I go thin on my pieces like this, but I don't go too thin because of the fact that if you're buffing these and sanding them all nice and pretty, you're going to end up losing them. So you got to be really, really careful. I don't know why orange sounds good, but I think orange is going to clash. I don't know, maybe it won't. Let's get some color in here. Alright, if it looks bad, it looks bad. It's either that, yes, I change my mind constantly. Let's do a red. Let's do a red. I don't know who commented on one of my videos that said, I love your color combos, and it's like, you don't. You can't. My color combos are horrible. I never know what to use, and alright, so we did that. Let's roll this one up, see what it looks like. Okay. So, how about a leaf? I know I made some leaves last week, right? A feather would be nice, and I made kind of a feather yesterday. It turned out horrible, as you can see. Yeah, we'll save that for another one. But this is where your layering comes in. So everything that's on the bottom here, you're going to end up seeing it all come through anyways. Our wind out there is pretty bad. We always have bad winds anyways, but I can hear it coming through my window. Oh, somehow I lost that guy. Okay, so you can just set that leaf anywhere right there. Do another one of those. I have no idea how this is going to look. It's just kind of hiding some seams and stuff like that. I was thinking of 3D printing me a box to put all my cane in, just so that it makes it easier. See if you can make a little slot for them to where it'll just fit one of them. Then you wouldn't have to wrap them at all because they're not going to be touching. So that's the issue, is that if they touch, they stick to each other. I don't know if I really want another one of these. I'm going to put one in there anyways. I don't know why. So this is an experiment for all of us, right? I don't like to layer. Sometimes they come out good, sometimes they don't. Okay, and then it's finding that one spot that you like, that you want as your top. So I made this a little smaller, and I could have made it a little more bigger. Because this is a little smaller than I thought it would end up being. So I'm doing this on the top because it seems like it's got most of the colors here. Okay, so that would be one side, that would be the other. Actually, I like this. I don't know what it's going to look like in the end, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with this one. Okay, so again, just very lightly. And then we're going to push it down. Okay, so again, I don't know what it's going to look like until after we get it out of the oven. Alright, we're going to leave that alone. We'll make another one or so like that. So there's two. So you know what? I'm going to go blow my nose and I'll be right back. Okay. So we're going to make a couple more of what we had just made. Okay, and I think one of them was one. I'm just making sure that I'm using the right one, because this one seems a little bigger. Maybe not. Okay. So this one, we'll do exactly like we did the other one. We'll have a set for a pair of earrings, and I set it over here with the rest of my stuff to put it, get it ready for the oven. I just want to make sure that I'm about the same size. Okay. And then I'll do another one at a 1 1/4. I may do one at 1 1/2. Okay, so on this one we took a couple strips of blue. I don't remember if I did 1, 2, or 3. So the biggest challenge on these is you want them thin, but you don't want them too thin. Because if you're going to buff these, so I have 1, okay, so I did have 3. If you're going to buff them, then you're going to take off some of that design. So the trick is to make sure they're as smooth as they can be when they're on the bead. And what I mean by that, if you use translucent, you're going to see where it's attached to the bead. But you're going to see, like right here, you can see like a little line where it connects. Okay, you don't want that little line, because it'll look great when you sand it, but as soon as you buff it, all those little lines come through. So the great thing about making like a swirl bead is the fact that it's really making it nice and smooth. So you can start sanding it like, I don't know, you can do a 6 or even a 800 grit. Instead of like 200 or 400. I've never used 200. I've always used like 400 grit to start. But it does take off some of your design. So start out at a 6 or an 8, because as long as you got it smooth to start, then you're okay. And then you're basically just doing a fine sanding on it. And obviously you want to go really light as well. Okay. So it's not going to match this, and that's okay. Oops, I got a little piece right there stuck. And unfortunately, he's not coming off. So I got another little element on this, which unfortunately means that I got to do this one more time. Okay, so here's what I mean. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you see this little, like, divot or whatever? That's what'll happen. And I don't want to put this back into a round ball in my finger. So I just want to blend that in there really good. And that's what happens when you're not careful of where you place something. Okay, so now it's remembering where I put everything. But again, these are handmade, guys. I don't worry about exactly placing these things where the other one was. It's the same theme, and that's basically what you got to worry about. Okay, I'm just making this a little smaller. Oh, and when you cut your leaves, don't cut them off the side, or you will straighten one side. Try and go from the top to the bottom. Okay. So I got 2 dots of red, just right here. 2 dots of red, a couple of leaves, and then a couple dots of brown. I could still use those, but I'm not. I'll put that one about right there. Okay. And basically, that's all you do. Drawback of leaving it in the paper is that it doesn't stick to your work surface. Okay. And we'll grab a couple leaves. I know there's a leaf in here somewhere. Oh, this is terrible. Here it is. So I know all of you know who Meg Newberg is. She is Polymer Clay Workshop, and she has like a subscription. And it's not really bad. It's like $5 a month. And she shows you, obviously, how to make canes. I used to subscribe to her channel, but unfortunately I kind of shut everything off last year. And just wanted to help keep me from getting influenced. But I was on Etsy, and I was looking at Polymer Clay canes. And I think I showed you in a video, God, I don't know if it's up yet, but I bought some canes from iCandy Clay. Ivy Niles is her name. Oh, I like that right there. And see if I can somehow get this all on the top. She was having some difficult medical bills or something. I don't know if it was for her dog. But she had this huge sale. And I went ahead and bought some of her stuff. And they've been sitting basically, is that a little big? It is. This one's a little bigger. So that's the issue. So we're just going to have to make a couple of these, right? And again, really light. I don't want to distort the pattern. Okay, that one's interesting, but I think it might be just a little bigger. Let me show you what I got from her. But anyways, she needed help. So sometimes we just got to help out other artists, right? And I think I may have already shown you some of her stuff, but I put them all in a box. Yeah, let me get this up. There we go. Now you can really see them. And I separated her stuff. But I love her little reindeer. And she's got this little octopus that I want to try and make a focal out of. So I may do that today. So I'm going to pull that out for now, because we might just make one. But anyways, I don't know what I came across, but one was from Meg Newberg. And she had a... Okay, this is going to be a focal. Gosh, my mind is just not here today. She had a veneer. So I guess people on Etsy sell veneers. And it was the most gorgeous floral veneer that I have seen. And boy, it was like $30. I don't know how big this piece is. But I looked at it and like, do I really want this? Really? Do I really need this? But it was so pretty, and I could just see so many earrings out of it. And I figured, you know what? It's $30, right? But if you can get like 4 or 5 pairs of earrings out of it, then basically it pays for itself. And I just had to have it. So I get it now where people, they buy other people's canes. I never did before, because it's like, well, you know, I don't want to buy it if I can make it. But then I can never be on either one of their levels. These guys are like top notch. Their stuff is amazing, what they can do with their canes. But they also draw out a lot of their stuff. And I don't draw. So I don't really do anything with them. So I just make simple stuff that I don't have to think about. Right? and that literally make me happy. Okay, this one I think is going to end up being bigger than both of them. I'm hoping not, but I just have that feeling. Okay. That's probably going to be more on this side. Alright, so we're going to grab, a couple of red dots again. What do I have? 2. Hi, Makita. Makita just sauntered into my office. She's right at the door. And I'm sure I'm going to hear her moan pretty soon, like, pay attention to me. So one thing I've noticed since Bandit's been gone is she literally has no directions, and I know she knows I'm talking about her. And yes, I do believe that dogs know. You know, when we went for walks... Oh, you know what I didn't do on this one? I didn't put the little brown on that one. Well, son of a gun. Alright, I may not be able to do it on this one. She was slow, even with Bandit. She walks like a turtle. She's 12 years old, almost 13, so she has an excuse. Yeah, see, you gotta remember what you do, and I didn't. See, this is why I don't like talking too much when I work, because then I miss important steps. But, yeah, when she walks slow, but Bandit always took the lead, and so she would kind of walk a little faster and explore where he explored, because neither one of them are on a leash. So they can basically explore here and there and in the bushes, and it's just weird now that he's not here. She's got nobody to follow, basically. And it's really sad, because it's like she's got no direction, you know. So it's been hard walking for various reasons, obviously. Do I want to cover that? Yeah, what the heck. But yeah, our walks are taking a little longer, and I miss that boy. I really do. I have really good moments, and then I have really bad moments. And then, I wasn't going to bring this one up until we know a little bit more, but my granddaughter had a big lump on her arm, upper arm, towards the shoulder, and they're remodeling their house, so we haven't really seen them, because they're living with their mother-in-law right now, which is on their property, in a little guest house. And it's just really crowded, so I don't want to bug them, because there's a lot going on. So when they mentioned that she had this lump on her arm, we're thinking, okay, maybe it's, you know, it could be a cyst or something like that. And then I kind of wrote my not my granddaughter, I wrote my daughter-in-law yesterday, because my son, Kevin, does not really know how to talk. So getting anything out of him is tough. And apparently it's a tumor on her arm. I'm pretty sure it's going to be benign. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out where I want to set this. I don't like this right there. Alright, so I'm just going to put that there. But now we're dealing with that. So there's been a lot of stressful things going on in our family. I don't know why we're being attacked or why we're being hit so hard. I know it's life and I know it happens to everybody. But it literally takes, you know, takes the wind out of your sail. It's just so much. So I've been in here kind of hiding. Not really hiding, but you know. Just keeping myself busy. Because I can't deal with anything else like that right now. So I come in here a lot, and that's probably why I've made so many canes. And this is just what I stacked this with, like one of each. This isn't even the amount that I've made. Okay, so I don't like that side, but I do kind of like that side. And again, it's really difficult to get the same size. I'm thinking that these two are going to end up being the earrings. I think those look pretty darn close. And this one's just a little smaller. So maybe I'll do this at a 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to find something that's light blue, and then we'll make a focal piece with Ivy's. Her name is Ivy Niles, aka Eye Candy Clay. Maybe we'll make something with hers. But this is basically what you can do with your canes. Now, you can also keep layering it. I mean, these leaves that you saw, you know, you can layer over that, add another one, and so you got a bunch of depth in there. So I'm also going to try that, and I'm going to make that one into a focal piece. And then I can kind of show you, well, after it comes out of the oven, how all those layers will still come through. And then, of course, after you're sanding and buffing it, you're really going to see them come out. Alright, so we're going to do this one. And I think I made these too thick, which added a lot to it. And we're going to come over here. This end part's just a little too thick. If I go off camera, it's just me rolling the little pieces. Alright, we're going to do 2 leaves. One more print behind me. Okay. Do a couple red. Right there. Okay, and this is the one I think we're focused on, is this small one. I also have a broken printer that I finally fixed yesterday after much frustration. I went to fix something that I have fixed before many times. The wires broke on something called a heat block, where the plastic basically comes out. So I had to order that. So that was fun. And then as I'm fixing it, I broke a fan. Wires just came right out of it. So I'm like, oh, wonderful. So thank goodness I had some spare parts. And I fixed the fan, and yeah, then I had to calibrate the machine. I couldn't get it calibrated, and I kept getting fails, and oh, it was just such a pain. But we got it working, I think. I haven't printed anything on that machine yet. Tuesdays are nice. They're slow days. And so I didn't need it, basically. Something keeps telling me to stick it right there. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so now let's hope. Just finding that perfect spot. You know, I don't want it completely bare. So again, really slow, but put pressure on it. Okay, I'm going to push it. Oh, I think we might have it. So I would just do a little more, just so I have that nice dome shape. Okay. Nope, it's still a little too big, but that's okay. We're just going to play with that, and we're just going to make a bunch of them, and who knows, we'll have a set. So we're going to make a big one like this. I'm going to do that one at maybe, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches. And then I'll just continue to play with those throughout the day. See if I can make a nice little set. I can make bracelet, I can make a necklace, I can make earrings. But I do want at least 2 that are going to match for earrings. And we do have that. We have it right here. So if these are a little off, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm going to cut this up. And we're going to make a bigger one of that. And then I would like to try, I don't know, another shape. But that might have to come another day. But since I have to condition it, I would love to make like a, remember what I made the last time? And I said it was way too big. I want to do another one of those. And I'm thinking, yeah, there's a lot of air bubbles in here. Okay. I'm thinking if you just do this, you'll get this nice little shape. I want a bike cone. You know, so just like that. See, so you just kind of want to like do that. But they got to be proportionate. And yes, I do have a bicone roller in stock, but it's only an inch. And it's a lot thinner than this. So I might have to start creating some more bead rollers. Okay, so I mean, that could be my shape. But see how it's not perfect? Again, I know it's handmade. So let's say I threw a bunch of stuff on here. All right. And then you would basically just flatten it. Let's see, and then that ends up kind of like that. But it's just making sure it's even. So that could be my base right here. So I'm going to set that aside because that might, no, because see if this is a base, again, I'm thinking in my head here, if this would be my base, then look at how big it is. It's going to be huge by the time I throw all those elements on it. All right, so I'm going to go restart another print. And I'm going to make a blue background. I'm not going to make a focal on these on air since you already know what I did it. But let's play with some Ivy Niles. So I'm going to do like a light blue underneath. So we're going to do that. We'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so Mailman's been here. And I started this video with a candy clay. I took her stuff. And I try to make a focal for you guys, and I totally ruined it. So, we aren't going there today in that tutorial. Again, it's placement, but more of placement is trying to keep it into the shape that I want, and I couldn't do that. So, this is what her beautiful octopus turned into. It's still kind of cool, but it's gone. So, we're not going to put that in the video today. We're just going to make this big focal piece that I wanted to make and call it a day, basically. So this is just going to go, this is just going to be a bigger piece of the turquoise ones that we have right here in the corner. Sorry about that. I haven't quite found my creative streak, and again, I didn't have problems with the placement of what I used to hers, but I was still trying to keep it as a lentil shape, and it worked, but trying to get these right here, darn it, trying to get these all smoothed out without ruining the shape, yeah, that just completely destroyed me. So I don't know how some of these clayers do it. You guys are awesome, because I could not do it. And I'm sure it just takes a lot of practice. But I don't want to practice with canes that I bought that are so intricate, because I literally don't want to destroy them. So, we'll come back to that another day. I'll keep recording. And if it's worth sharing, you know, then we'll save the recording. But yeah, that wasn't a good one. So, we had to say goodbye to it. And it was really cute too. So now I don't know how to use her canes. I mean, what good is having canes if you don't know what to do with them? have a feeling we all struggle with that. And if you don't, well, then you're pretty lucky, because I struggle with it all the time. Okay, so on this one though, I don't know, I may add a few elements that I didn't in the previous ones. We'll see. But we're going to put a little more on the dots, since this one is so big. Put one right there. I would love to see what you guys come up with. Okay, so we're missing a piece right there, so we're going to put a leaf right there to cover that missing little chunk. But I wanted to go deep, and what I mean by going deep is like putting this color like underneath. And then putting some translucent on top, and then maybe a little bit of color underneath that. So I'm going to work on that today as well, and just see what I can come up with. It just keeps all that blue from being quite so bright. It's just figuring out where to put some of these. Okay, go one more brown one. Oh, wait, you know what? I don't have any of these blue ones. 2. Okay. Alright, so we're just trying to obviously get it as smooth as we can. You can see where it hasn't quite blended with everything around it. Okay, and then you're going to find your best part. I like that right there. And again, very light. You're just trying to get it a little domed. And then I push. I dome it a little more. Make sure it's nice and round. But not enough to where you're going to distort. Okay. Alright, so there's our other one. I kind of like this one. Guarantee it's going to look a lot nicer once I bake it. Alright guys, so that's kind of the layering process. Am I excellent at this? I'm not. Or at least I don't think I am. It's just practice, you know. Mainly that's all it is just practice. So before I go, I know this video is going to be longer than I wanted. So in the candy clay stuff that I got, she gave me one slice of this. She gave me a couple like freebies. And I'm sitting here going, what am I supposed to do with this? But I'm thinking that if I put this on black, okay, and then put one of those little, you know, make one of those little rounded thingamajiggers that I normally do, that this could actually be really cool. So I might play around with that again today. But alrighty, I think that's it. I've got a lot of canes still that I want to make. I want to start using some of my flowers and stuff like that. But I love southwestern colors. So browns and blues and purples and blues and stuff like that are really fun for me. So this is what we have. And I think I made that flower one, right? Oh, I don't know if I made it. These I made a couple days ago. I think that's the one we did today. This was the one that I made a couple days ago. I really like this. And that's what I tried to make with this one. But I'm going to need to make one more of these so that I have an earring set. So I'm going to finish that. And I'll probably make a couple smaller ones so that we have 2 for earrings and then 2 for the necklace somewhere in there. I don't know if I'm going to use them all for a necklace. I could just use regular beads as well. But we're going to pop these in the oven, and we will probably show you what I made in the next video, and then maybe I can put it into an earring set and a necklace at that point. So you guys have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Bye.